Hello everyone, I am RexRed and I am back with another exciting Ez3DTv tutorial today. We are going to jump right into it after a little bit of polka time. Why not? It's like it is always polka time on Ez3DTv. So today we are going to go and work with EzFinder. As you can see, I have my two screens down below, and we are going to have some fun with this. Yes, we are. It says we have an excellent connection. Thank you, YouTube. All right. Today I have some very exciting new stuff. Oh, my camera shut off. I gotta turn it back on. It got hot. It got hot and turned off. Just a minute. I will be back. Camera. What are you doing? We need to turn you back on. You are hot. I can tell. The camera is boiling hot. There we go. We are back. All right, now let me get my earbuds in my ear. Okay, we are off to the races. Matt, you are here, my friend. Wait till you see what we have today. See, you guys, I listened to you. And somebody kind of said, oh, we only get 8, panels. That's it. It's just like 8 panels. And so I kind of thought, why? Yesterday, this was very, very difficult to implement. But now we have tabs, okay, in EzFinder. So what we can do here, now look at this. Is this not cool? Now here are our, let's go full screen. Here are our 8, these are the 8 panels, okay? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Now up here we have 8 more. And we have 8 more, and 8 more, and 8 more, and 8 more, until we have 64 panels, okay, that you can right-click on these. You can just rename them, and we'll call this one couches. Couches, okay, that one's couches. And we go to shaders. Now these fabrics, these are my plastic fabrics, pattern overlay, rock, stone, and ground. You see, because these big, long lists of things were kind of hard to find. You'd have to read down through, and I was like, I'm looking for this. And if you have like these certain areas where you can break up your shaders, okay, and you have a favorites panel, okay, where you can put your favorite things, okay. So we have wardrobe. So this, as you can see, each one of these will take, hundreds, probably about 100 before you get down to the bottom. And then scroll bars appear, and you can scroll down even further with these categories. This armor one, I have 3,000 items in here, okay? This is so when you go to the Daz store, you don't have to say, oh, I've got so much stuff, and I don't even know where it is or what I've got. Now, you can't say that, okay? Well, you can say that until you get EzFinder, but then you can't say that. You can say, basically, I know where everything, every shader, every HDRI, I know where everything is out of, like my library is 1.7 million files. But I can say that, like short hair, this short hair category, I have 6,568 items in here, okay? Now, all of them are not short hair. Some of them are going, so like this hair category, you see, I haven't even begun to, I got cars and birds in here. I got to clean this out. I got birds in my hair and cars. So what we do, all right, is now these birds, these were just tester things, okay? So I can delete that. Does it work? Oh, that didn't work. We got a problem with delete. Okay, it came back actually, and it's gone, but it should not have closed like that. Let's see if this does the same thing. Are you sure? Okay, so there's an issue. Will it come back? No, we just have to open this. Okay, and it's gone. That's not good, but it worked. Okay, so this was a massive undertaking because what EzFinder, what just happened is when I first built EzFinder, it used to go by name, okay? Everything went by name. So if you had, now let's see when we add a new folder here. Let's add a folder called hair, so we'll call short hair. Hair. Now that didn't have a problem. Adding that in, okay, and we go here to change color. We bring that up like this, and that has an issue too. So we just got a couple of issues here. I haven't had a chance to that's why I'm here, is to test this stuff out. But now, as you can see, it's changed. So there is an issue here, and I'll figure out what that is, but not to worry. Okay, welcome, Art, welcome. I don't know if it was you or whoever else it was, but somebody said, hey, we would like to have more than 8, panels, okay? So now we have tabs, okay? So now, like, this is my wardrobe, and as you can see in my wardrobe, we have lower, upper, like lower clothing, like pants. These are what I've chosen to call them. You could just call them, pants or whatever. But we have loincloths. Now, shirt is in the lower. That belongs in the upper. So we drag that over. Shorts, underwear, loincloths, okay? Then we have shoes, boots, sandals, sneakers, sweater. Sweater, okay? That doesn't go in shoes, so that would go in upper. Okay, we have tank top, vest, shirt, polo shirt, male clothes, all that doesn't go in there. So that would go in full sets. Let's just put that in here. That's like a huge category, okay, with 36,374 items. That's like kind of where I grab all kinds of stuff from. We got robes and top. That would be hats. We got upper, lower, top. You can move these around like this. Top. Okay. And the thing is that, so now, does that count? I thought of it, bomb thumb 1. I'm not sure what that means, but I am here. And okay, so now here in this people, as you can see, I have this hair category, and I really don't need that because when I only had 5, I started out with 5 tabs. Like as you can see, each one, and this works. It's all working, and it's working better than it did but when I only had 1 like tab, okay? Where there was 8 of these, and that was it. And then you could save them and you could load different ones in. But I thought people just want to click and get to everything that they've curated, okay? They want to be able to click through these. More tabs, choices, categories. Yes, so I listen, okay? And this is the thing is that, so now we have this. So now this hair, when I go into people where it says hair, I can right click this and save this panel, okay? And I'll just save it as hair. And it's already there, but I just want to make sure I save it, okay? Saved successfully. Now I can come into the hair category, and let's move short over here, okay? And let's go load panel, and let's load hair, okay? And it takes a moment. And that didn't load successfully, but let's close this. So there's some issues, okay? Let's go back. That is very serious, okay? So yeah, it didn't load. So gotta fix that. So the thing is, there's not much to fix, and what's really nice about this is, now let's try this again. Load panel, hair. Let's see if we can get this to work. I don't think loading it twice is going to help, but open. Panel loaded successfully. Folders loaded 0. Okay, so it's not finding the folders. So that's okay. We will figure this out. Okay, so but this is now this is how you will get this program. Is these tabs and all of this complexity? This gives you 64 panels. Okay, and I'm going to tell you right now also that EzFinder is not only going to be for Daz Studio. These up here could very well be called like Blender, Unreal, Character Creator, and you could basically have all of your curated stuff from all of your 3D programs here, okay? And this would be called Daz, and you could use these and just basically load, like I said, originally load them. Or what you can do is basically just say, okay, this entire, so what you have here, to compile this program, which I call it building it, okay? It takes probably about maybe 10 seconds, 10 or 15 seconds. I have a very, very fast computer with a very powerful chip. So it takes about 10 seconds, and when I compile, I don't compile to like debug or to a release. I compile to a publish folder. So and I do it so that it's self-contained. So I do every time I compile to a very complete, like it's as if, okay, this is the finished version. I always compile to like the finished version, hoping that it will be done and it can just stick and say, okay, I'm ready, but it's a year later and I've been compiling to the published version with self-contained, where it pulls everything. It pulls .NET into it, it pulls the C# into it, it pulls it, because there's no install for EzFinder. Okay, EzFinder is just an exe on your computer, on your wherever you put it. You put a shortcut to it. This is a shortcut. It's just a shortcut. You just put the program wherever, which it could live theoretically inside Daz, okay? Depending on what Daz wants to do with it, if they even want to do anything with it at all. But this right now is tailored 100% for Daz. It's not tailored for Blender. It's not tailored for, not yet, okay? But there is the possibility that this could be a mecca for finding 3D stuff working, because this already has OBJ import, okay? Like I can select these and all of my Daz OBJs, which I've actually never even done this. They don't have any, all these are the OBJs that I've bought from Daz. There's 93 pages of them. None of them have images, but you can see what they are. This is a glass candle holder, okay? These are OBJ files that I've purchased. I've never really looked at any of them, but this deals with them. And if I double click on, if I right click and open with Daz version, and we open this with Daz 6, half of this stuff won't even work. This says atmosphere, okay? So I can't even imagine how an atmosphere would end up as an OBJ, okay? So let's see what we have here. Okay, accept. And it put a bunch of stuff in here, but let's see, where is our, let's go up here to our scene. It says atmosphere, it says it's here. Let's see where. Okay, there it is, an atmosphere. Who knew? Okay, and it does actually look like an atmosphere as you look at this. Let's see when we render this. It's not too much of an atmosphere, but oh yeah, there you can see there's little. There's what I would call a particle field, all right, inside here. And so that's pretty cool. It works. It loads OBJ files, and you see, so that's the thing. Now we have FBX files. I don't know how many FBX files. This is OBJ files. So really what's kind of cool about this is we can go, what does work in the organizer, okay, is we can go back into like environment and props. We'll go and put it in props, new, and we'll call this OBJ files, okay. And that worked. Okay, there's our OBJ files, okay, and we bring this down. We bring this over here, and we select one of them, and we drag it into OBJ files. And that worked. Okay, that really didn't work, okay, because it says there's 150 items, so there's another issue right there. I have to write down some of these issues, okay. Delete, note. Okay, delete. Here, delete, closes the organizer, and so does color change. No, not color change. What was the other one here? I don't know if it was rename. Okay, I think it might have been color change here. Here, let's go to green. No, that worked. Okay, so now it's deciding to work here. Let's delete this and see what happens. Delete. Now it's working. Isn't that kind of weird? It might have just been this jet airplane. Let's delete this one. Now it's working. Okay, so, but this was, when I selected that, it was supposed to drag all of those items into there. Now let's go back here. Now this was OBJ here, 200 and, there's just 200. There's supposed to be, maybe I didn't hit, I don't, sometimes. Okay, 346, that's still not 93 pages of OBJs. That's for damn sure. So it only took what was on the page. Now if I select all and do this and we do that, that will put another 300, 500 in there, but it's not putting them all in. So yeah, so okay, so this is another bug here is control drag from main UI does not drag all items. Yeah, all right, so that's another issue. The reason why this is, why when I come here that there's new issues is because this program, when I first, I started this program a year ago, and about 6 months ago or 7 months ago, EzFinder I started working on EzFinder, okay? I was working on other programs, and they were all kind of almost on the verge of being done, and then I realized, oh, they all need to be put into one program, and so that was when I started EzFinder, okay? So I already had programs, like there's like modules in EzFinder that are actually part of were actually other programs that are like modules, okay? So I realized that EzFinder had to be, that it had to pull it all together. And so what I did was these folder names where it says full scene, the way I set it up was that each name was a folder that you would identify. You could change the folder name, and the system would just look and say, oh, he changed the folder name. And I have this thing in the program called the Overmind, which handles, because I had problems like where I would change it, but it wouldn't change over here, okay? Where I have other files here, okay, like this file where I could put in like pants, all right, where it wouldn't register the change over here. The time I started watching this channel, I don't know, it was, 7 months ago, that was 7 months ago, that was a while ago. So, but it could be when you started watching, but it took a while before you got in here live. Yeah, I understand what you're saying. So, what happened was I realized that that some people may want to use the same name, and just blocking it at every time you try to use, because you can use, like I could come in here now and I can, where it says we'll go over here where I can't do too much damage here, new folder. And we'll call it, okay, this is new folder, okay, and we're going to call this golf, all right? And so that went in perfectly now, all right? And so what I can do now is right-click and go new folder and say golf. And you see, you can have two folders. Before, it would block. It would just throw the whole program off, okay? The same thing here, I can say up here, I can go rename this panel, train. All right, and which I'm not sure why that's jumping down, but it is train, T-R-A-I-N. You see, I can have two folders, I can move them around, okay? And I can close this, and hopefully when I come back, yep, they're still here. See, it persists. It remembers, okay? And that's because now it's taken me like the last week and a half to go through 39,000 lines of code and change every place where it used names, and now it uses numbers, okay? And the reason why numbers is important is because numbers, like, think about people, okay? People, everybody has a different social security number. Why? Because if you have a different social security number, you don't have to have a unique name, okay? People with the same social security number can have the same name, and there's no problem, okay? That's why. And the same thing goes for these little symbols, okay? They're just symbols. They're just names, okay? What's important, and now that is what's made EzFinder work so much better, okay? Is that when you assign a number, when you create a folder, it gets a unique number that no other folder has. And when you create, and so these panels have a unique number, and there's 1 through 64. And so there's 8 panels per tab. And so that's 64 panels, and then each tab has a unique number. They're different categories, okay? So they can't get mixed up, okay? Tabs are in the tab category where you look at the file and look for the data. And there's the tab number, there's the panel number, there's the folder number, okay? And so but in the program, there's a few that are still pointing at names instead of. So it's just a matter of time, and I will get every last one of them. So that's it. So this is what's going on with the program now. So now this is like really nice. This ground, like these are. This is my environments tab. And this is really cool because now, like, I can have a props folder, plants and trees, sky tools. These are my HDRIs. And this gives me really some room. What this does is it makes you feel like I can buy this stuff now. I can organize it. I can actually grow into this system. I have, like I said, I have 1.7 million files in my Daz library. And I feel now like I can actually, like that is small, all right? It doesn't feel so completely like this file for land. This has 7,000 files in it, okay? This is everything that when I searched the Daz, all those 1.7 million files, this is, these are all the ones that came up with land, okay? Now, what I'll do is, and so a lot of these, like these right here, I don't need these in land, okay? These go in trees, and as you can see by the truth symbols, they're already in other folders, okay? They're already, if I click, hold my mouse over this, it tells me that this is in land, landscape, trees, and trees, okay? So this probably doesn't need to be in landscape, and it doesn't need to be in land because it's a tree. So it goes in trees. That's all we need. Put it in trees, and that's it. I don't need land and landscape. They're very similar, okay? The reason why I have both land and landscape is because when you search the Daz library, some of the PAs call it landscape. Some of them call it land. Some of them call it ground. So you do searches to find all of those things and put them all together. Then you curate them and you say, well, this is just ground textures. I don't want this. This is ground. This is, you know, these kind of things where you're not even supposed to click on them at all anyway. So you just go through and you clear out all the stuff until you have all of the land pieces that you want to be using. Now these right here, these are boot prints. You ever, you know, so what you do, and this is like all of them right here. Now I can come in here and I can go to props, new folder, and we're going to call this footprints. You ever wanted to find those footprints and put them in the sand, you know, and all this? Well, here, this sand, green, look at these, all these, you can just lay them out along the ground and make it look like somebody just walked through rather than have it look like, how did they get there? Because they didn't even leave a footprint. Okay, and that put all 49. It's only doing them page by page right now. So it's working. It's just not going across pages right now, and there's some kind of block there. And look, these look like prints also. We'll throw them in there too, footprints, and then we'll go back a page and see if there's a bunch more. Look at these. Hello, we just found a really cool place. Footprints. We got hoof prints. I think these are Martin Frost that made these. So, but I'm not sure. But what we can do is, and these, I think, these are not in OBJ. These are in another. So I could search footprints. Okay, they're all part of ground, and see what we come up with. There's 2 pages of them. All right, so we go here. Those were all in there anyway. And these, and I don't know if I got them all, but look at that. What a find. And so, but what I can do now is I can go to my Duff, which has everything, all right? Double click on that, and we'll search here for footprints, and we'll find everything. Come on. And if you notice these are already in there, okay? There's only 2 pages of footprints, okay? And these are footprint, these are footprint, we're going to throw these ones in. Those are materials. We'll throw them in. Why not? Into footprints. We could put them on something and lay it over top of something. I don't know. Transparency, maybe. I'm not sure. So now when you go here, now we have a new, in here, you can see up here in this corner, we have a new panel. See, so this drops down and allows you to select which tab, okay? So if I select wardrobe, then I have all of my wardrobe panels, all 8. Then I can select clothing, and boom, I don't have to open the organizer, okay? I can just then go earrings, okay? And so I was like, where are my favorite earrings? So here we go. So we go through here and find my earrings. So, or jewelry, okay? Where's my favorite jewelry? Rings, everything. There's 11 pages of rings. And as you know, you just put them in the scene, and then you go in and you move them until they go on your figure's hand. The same thing with this, you move them around, and then you use mesh grabber to kind of move the necklace until it's in the right place. And we got necklace, we got jewelry, this is necklace, and all the different parts that go with it. Here's another thing that we've added in here. When you click on this, it was cutting off the path, okay? Now it shows you the entire path. So when I click on that, I can see, that's in Genesis 3, okay? Everything you click on here, all right, now will tell you where it comes from, okay? It's just right there, right there. You can close that and remember that whole thing about it, remembering where you are. Hopefully that still works. So, let's test it. Let's go and put this whole Duff file in here, see if it remembers where we are. We have to go to page, let's go to page 1000. Okay, and that didn't work. Okay, so pagination doesn't work. All right, that's something to fix, okay? So page, go to page does not work. Okay, that's because we are not using names anymore to go to pages. We are using numbers, okay? So it just doesn't know how to interpret that. It's just got to go in and tell it Use ID, it's actually called. ID instead of names. Go to page does not work. Okay, so there's not too many things now. So it's like hard to go to a page like that. Let's try here. Let's go the 2000 page. Let's go to 500 and see if it'll let us go there. Please say between 1 and 13. Let's go to page 8, 7. It might let us go here. Yeah, because I'm trying to go a long way over compartments. Okay, so but it does work for smaller distances. Okay, so now what we'll do is we'll pick one of these items. We'll pick this guy here. And see what happens when we go here. Okay, it's still on the same page. We go here. We're on page 6. It's still, where are you? Here, okay. Then we go like this. We go like that. And it's still here. Okay, so that still works. So our focus of when you click an item, it still focuses in. That part still works. So yeah, this is it's coming along. So I would say this is the most exciting feature is this, because when you work on this, it allows you, okay, that's full screen. And now we have where when you select this, it goes green. And this little green bar, that's working correctly. It was going white, but what was happening, it was the white border around it was making all the panels jump. And now it just goes green. And when I'd move my mouse over it, the green bar would disappear. So now it doesn't. It stays there. You know which one. So you go new folder, and we say, let's see, let's go for bushes. Bush, okay. All right, bushes. There, it worked. And let's see, we go, now these other folders, remember I put a couple new ones in here? Yeah, golf, they're still there. Okay, bushes. We go to the golf folders. We got 2 folders. Okay, what happens when we put some of these earrings in them, okay? Do they freak out because it's like we got both have the same name? No, only one of them allowed them in here. We close this down. We come back. Are they still there? There's 26. We have persistence, okay? They stay. All right, see, so this was so complicated, okay? Making this. And these little edge cases are tiny, okay? Now this whole thing where you can save, all right? You can clear a tab, okay? Now this is a tab, okay? So I can click this clear button and it will clear everything here, all right? I can click reset all and it will reset all of these tabs back to default, okay? I can click load save config, and when you click save config, it pops up and says this saves only the current tab, not all 8 tabs. See, it explains to you what you're saving, okay? And so what that means, it's only saving this wardrobe tab and everything in it, okay? And what's nice now is when you click save config and you click yes, it takes you to the place where it wants you to save it, okay? And so you just click on like wardrobe or whatever, and you just save it, okay? Save, replace it, yes, and that just saved this whole tab. Now, it saved the tab, okay? Now, if I go to shaders and I click save config, it will say it's only going to save this. It wants you to know that all you're saving is one tab, okay? And so you say, click yes, and you save it, and it says it's the name shader. It takes you to where it wants you to save it. That's in your user data folder that you chose when you started the program, okay? So it saves it there, all right? Then you go load config, it takes you to the place. How many programs just take you anywhere, okay? That's not the way this works. It takes you where your files are, okay? And it says these are your saved. These are called VFB, which means virtual folder bundles, okay? We have 4 different types of file types here. With 5 actually, if you think of the export to Daz as another. But these are native file types. So there's 4, and one of them is where you can save a folder, okay? And you can say export folder, and when this pops up, it takes you to your virtual folder saves, and these are VFF, okay? Virtual folder files, okay? Now, and it says we'll just save the wood one, okay? It says it's saved successfully. All right, let me delete this. Does it work? It probably doesn't, but all right, it let me delete that. Okay, now we right-click, import folder. Wood, does it work? Yeah, it does. Okay, so there's 6,000 wood shade. Does it still work? Yep, those are all of my wood shaders, okay? See, so it saves folders, okay? Now we go here to right-click on the panel, okay, save panel, and as you can see, I have all 64 of my panels, not all 64, but most of them saved. Okay, this says building wood, okay? As you can see, this is the name of the panel. When you right-click and say Save Panel, it takes you to where your panels need to be saved, okay? You can save them somewhere else, but when you come back to the program, it's going to take you back to this folder, okay? Because this is where your panels get saved, okay? This is the way I like things to work, is that so my panels are in, and if you look at it, go to your data, okay, here, and you go to here, your data, where you told it, where you wanted to put all your data when you started the program here. Okay, and I think I'm on the wrong monitor here. Okay, so this is, all right, so we're here. So we go to the data, and where it says organizer, organizer saves, boom, here are your 4 data types, okay? So here are my bundle saves, okay? These are my, these are the, which ones are the bundle again? These are tabs, okay? So these environments and people and poses and shaders, okay, these are my tabs, and I only have 5 of them saved in this extra one here because I used to only have 5 panels, 5 tabs, and then I said, oh, 5 isn't enough. I got to have 8, okay? So that is, so because I just wanted to be able to say, okay, instead of having to name it like people and hair, people/hair, I now have my own hair category, and I also have scripts and a favorites category, okay? And these are enough for me, kind of like wardrobe, shaders, environment, poses, enough to be able, look, I mean, I hardly even have these filled up, you know, so it's enough. Tabs, okay? And before, I was fitting like all of my stuff in one tab, you know, like environments, shaders, people, you know, all of them in one tab. But now I can spread them out in shaders. It's now lost its thing, so we got an issue here. All right, it's just gonna die on us. Let's see if they come back. So, yeah, I loaded a file. So it's, since so much has been changed, it is going to require some work to fix things. Yes, I did. And this is why it's going to be available soon. Let me see. Do we have everything back? Yeah, it reloaded everything back. Everything is still here. Okay, now the shaders one. Let's hope I didn't lose. I don't know which one it was that I took out. But that one, let's see. Wardrobe. Okay, so let's go to shaders and wood. I don't know which one. Let's see if I can load a panel. Let's load the wood panel. See it take this virtual folder panel saves, okay? And this one is called building wood, it's called. Just make sure building wood. All right, replace all in the panel. Okay, does it work? There it is, okay? It just replaced all of my folders. Now wood is here. Okay, now if we go here, so yeah, this is going, welcome Tank Topany, Tony, Tank Top Tony. Here we go, Tank Top Tony, how is that? That's cool. Yeah, this is going to be, I have 13,000 Daz items. I got just tired of not being able to get my hands on them, okay? So all of my HDRIs, everything, you are going to be able to buy this. I'm hoping that I can get it out before Christmas. If I can't, to you guys, it might be, I'm not going to put it out until it's ready, okay? I don't have a deadline. People will buy it regardless, okay? Because I know people want to get their hands. They want to be able to curate their stuff. George, I remember you. Or don't you live in Arizona or something like that? Yes, Art, you have a good night. I need to call it a night at myself as well. So, but I don't know. I might stay around a little bit more, just see if I can get some more of these bugs to kind of, to show me where they are. So scene all, let's go to the full scene here. So these are all my scenes. So yeah, as you can see, when we have Daz open here, let's open this like this. When we have Daz open, we can just double click this and look at what it loaded into here. It loaded this whole room right here, and we can go inside. And I remember this room. I've done some scenes with this. This is slightly different. This may be the iRay version, okay? But yeah, it's got some kind of atmosphere. It doesn't look like the atmosphere is working too well. So it's like, what's really nice is now I can just come here to my HDRIs, click on this and say, hey, I need an HDRI, and put that in the room. And there we go. Now we have some light. We take our HDRI and we make it a little brighter here. Scene, environment, parameters. Let's bring this over here. Let's bring our Daz scene over here. Okay. And let's go to environment, and let's go like this to environment. Let's go 5. And let's go to this and go 3. And there we go. Look at this. Now if we go into the scene here, and we go to this here, somewhere here there is a ground wall window. Which one is the, somewhere here is a ground. Maybe it's the ground. Oh, no, I think that is part of the, there it is, atmosphere. Okay, let's get rid of that atmosphere, because if we need an atmosphere, we'll use a VDB. Okay, so we can now go back to EzFinder here, and we can go to Environment, and I have this Sky Tools. Here are all my VDBs. And we'll bring this one back here, over here. Here's our thing. We can close this. We can close this because we got our VDBs here, and close that. And it seems to be working. 2. All right. We're looking for a big VDB. Let's put a big gigantic one in here. Mist, it's not quite. Now you can see with these numbers how quickly things load. So there are only a couple of very, very small bugs. You know, every time I do massive stuff in the program, there's going to be things, you know, that just aren't working anymore until I go in and fix them. So, but this, where? This is every VDB I own. Every single one. Okay? So, yeah, that's what's nice, is to say there, you know, I'm not being, you know, it's not like where something's trying to find the things I own. It found every single one. Now we're going to take this cloud field, double click on it, and that just put the cloud field inside my scene, okay? But what I'd like to do with this cloud field, all right, is scale it a little bit. We'll go to parameters and scale it up a little bit. We go to scale. There we go. And then we go back to our scene. We bring this down. Then we go to surfaces. Select this. And we can take this down a little bit to like 0.2. Well, let's go a little bit more. 0.1, 0.15, 0.05, 0.01. Okay. So now we have, and what we can do is we can take this absorption multiplier, and I think this one makes it absorb the light coming in more. Let's go out a little bit more. Well, it's not really catching the light scattering multiplier. Let's bring this, which way does it more? Okay, that scatters the light more. This one doesn't, this way. So what we could do is bring this back up, the density multiplier, to like 2, 1. Oh, that's like a lot. Density multiplier, let's go to 0.1. And so we take this scattering multiplier and just bring it down. That's another way to bring your density down. Okay, because what it's doing is it's saying, I want more of the fog in here, but I just don't want it the light bouncing off of every teeny particle and bouncing and bouncing and bouncing forever. Okay, so that's the scattering multiplier. You can bring it down a little bit more. And so it just scatters less, but there's more fog in the room, okay? Absorption multiplier. So we do this, and I believe it absorbs less. Yeah. So, okay, maybe it's the black one that absorbs less. No, this one seems like it's absorbing more when I bring it that way. I think when we bring it all the way up here, they're just like the opposite. It's hard to remember which one is which. So then we go here to like 0.03. Okay. Now, it's just not giving me the kind of light that I need. So I think what you have to do, if you want, and I'm not sure that these windows here are actually correct, but if you want to have, you see, you know, when I look inside, I really can't even see inside. It's like something's, they're sort of lit, but then they're not. And but if you want to get those kind of effects of, you have to take a spotlight like this, except, okay, look through the spotlight, zoom out. Angus, welcome, welcome. How are you, dear friend? How are you? Good to have you here. It is. So how are you doing, friend? Okay, Control L, we got to have some light in this scene. Control L, we try it again, and it's still not working. I think I might have to have a spot camera in here. Create new camera. All right, we'll say from here. Camera. Accept. All right, I guess that works. Now can I turn the light on? No, it's, for some reason, it's not letting me turn on the light. Let's look through the camera for a moment here. That is strange. Yeah, now we go back to the perspective view. Now we have light. That's very strange. There's some bugs here. So we go now back to our spotlight, which is, I think, going to plunge us back into darkness. That's, okay, I see, because the light is not putting any light off. Okay, so we go to parameters. Just want to kind of show you a little trick, okay? So we go now to opacity, luminosity, and we go to, let's say, 4,000, let's go, like that. And it's still not working. Might have something to do with our scene, I think. Maybe this go to an environment map and parameters. We might have it set to scene only or something. Dome and scene, okay, that's not the problem. All right, so I'm not sure why our light is not working, but let's bring it in like we need it to be, and let's hope this works. Okay. Okay. Control L. Okay, now we can see something here, a little bit of something, and we're going to bring this in like that. We're going to shine this right in this window, and we're going to make it bright. Okay, we're going to shine it from the top down. And then we go, this is how you get beams, how you get that church effect, okay? Kind of that beams of light kind of look. Now we go back to our spotlight. And we go back to parameters, and we go here to spotlight, down here. Let's go 8. See if what happens when we go 8,000. Let's go more than that. Let's go to 1,800. Let's see what happens. Now we go back to our camera mode, and let's go back, take the camera inside. Let's see what's happening here. Okay. All right, there. It looks like we've got, see, one of these, this one's, maybe none of these are working, because this may be just have an issue with its lights. They may, okay, I have to find out, because this may not be, actually be, if this is not, if this is, I think this is iRay, but I'm not sure. Okay, we have to scroll out this way to get out of the room a little bit. We should be able to see the effect of that light, and if we can't, it's because our light is actually see, because none of these look any brighter than the other. So, okay, now let's lock our camera. Okay, now we're outside. Okay, so this is where we want to be, right about here. Let's take our camera and lock it. Our spot, is this my spotlight? No, that's my camera. Okay, edit, object, lock. All right, the camera's locked for now. Now our spotlight. Now what we do is select some of these things and see what they are. We go to surfaces, black, okay, diffuse color. So that's what's wrong with this scene, okay, is that these lights, and so what you can do to fix this is you can just take these windows, okay, back door, okay, and none, okay, wood, okay, we go back to the scene. And we go wall light. Okay, those are wall light, patio, windows. Okay, here we go, windows. We go to surfaces. Go to surfaces, windows, and what we do is we just make them clear, okay, so that so we go to, what was it, cutout? I don't know, opacity, strength. Okay, that took the whole thing out. And now I think see, so that didn't work. We can go to windows here. I think we can, okay, glass. Okay, we don't need to do the wood part. We just do the glass. Okay, so we go here. Opacity for glass. Okay, now we have clear glass. Now you can see right through. Not all of the windows. So, but at least that one here. Scene, okay, is there fireplace, ground, back wall, door, patio wall. Okay, this is got another glass thing, I think, here. So we go to surfaces, patio wall, no, just, okay, patio wall, door, wood. Okay, so, all right. This is the worst model in the world to try to do this with. And I believe my spotlight is pointing into the only one that is not open. So let's go to spotlight. Where are you, spotlight? Okay, you're pointing you're just on the whole wrong side of the building. Okay, so we go to spotlight and look through this, and let's move around. Did I lock my spotlight? Edit, object, I did. I locked my spotlight. Unlock selected node, okay. So that's good to know that the spotlight isn't, okay, so we go this way, go on the other side of the building, go down here. This is how you do this, okay. All right, there. Now we go back to our camera, And our camera's way off again. Where I am having the worst time here with this. Okay, which side do we need to be on? This side? Yeah. All right, so do we have light penetrating through? Okay, it doesn't look like it. All right, so where is my spotlight? So we're going to take the camera this time, and we're going to do it the right way and lock the camera. All right, so belated good evening. So yes, we have Angus here. Okay, so we're going to now edit, object, lock. All right, so now we're going to go back out to perspective view and find out where our spotlight is again. There it is. Okay, it's right there where it's kind of supposed to be. And this is where our camera is, because that side's blocked, so we know our camera's here. So we take and select this again, this spotlight again. And let's look at the parameters and see what we're doing wrong here. Okay. Let's go like this. There we go. Back to our camera. There we go. Now we have, all right, so what we need to do now, edit. We go back to our spotlight. Okay, go back to our perspective view. We take this camera. We go edit. Duplicate. Okay, now we take this camera, we put it there. Go edit, duplicate. Take this camera and put it there. No, I did it wrong. This one. Okay. We'll take this camera here, if we can get it. Edit, duplicate. We bring this one over here. Now we go back to our camera view. Look what we have, okay? See, this is how you get that effect. Now we can go back into our smoke cube here. Parameters, surfaces here. We'll go 2, 1, 2. Okay, so we've got something here happening. Now we go, and let's go to 5. And then we take and give it a little bit of color, the scattering multiplier. See, I've kind of got it messed up here. So, oh, and we're only going our cloud is only high enough. It's not high enough. Okay. And now what we do is we go back to this. And we go back to our surfaces. Let's put these about in the middle. This one right here. Oh, that's got to go the other way to the dark. See, it's scattering a lot, you see. We take this one and just add a little bit of color to it. And then we bring the multiplier down some. And the scattering down. And then you have to kind of mess with this a little bit. Relative to size is on. And then we go here with our color could be a little bit more yellowish instead of green. And then we take our our lights, and we could go back to our lights and make them more intense, or what we can do is just add a little bit more density to the fog, say 9. And we go back to our spotlight, and we take and go here to our parameters of the spotlight. We go here. Okay, I don't think I have it selected, the spotlight 1. Parameters. Go down here, we got 8. Let's go this another 8. And then we'll go this, copy it, copy. Then we go to here, this spotlight, parameters, paste, V. And then we go to this one, parameters, paste, V, Control V. And we go to this one, parameters, paste, Control V. Now we go back to our camera. Okay, now we have something here. Okay, so it looks like, let's now try different VDBs. Okay, this one's not too bad, but let's now go, and we'll just turn it off. Look at what we have here. This is pretty intense. See, if you want this effect, you have to use spotlights, okay? You have to use spotlights, or you're not going to get that from or you make your VDB like really, really, really bright, okay? But spotlights is the way to get this effect, okay? And so then you go back, we go back, all right, to here, and we have our, let's open EzFinder. Where is EzFinder? Okay, we're going to minimize that. We have some other VDBs we can use. What we need is a fog wall, Blackmore. Not a fog wall, but a fog cube. Lock less. All right. Ice block. Where's my poof? There's a poof here somewhere. Atmosphere. Let's try this one. All right. What do we got here? It's the placer cube. Let's see if that's actually our... This is it. Okay, so we go, we make sure that the relative to size is on. And we go scene, then we go here, parameters, scale. There we go. And now we have, let's move it down some. Then we go back here to our cube, surface. No, I think our cube, okay. Now this is density relative to size, okay. Enable emission. No, we're not going to do that. Now we go here to our density, and we'll bring it down to like, it's at 5. Let's go to 1. And then let's go here to give it a little bit of color. Once this reticulates, I think it's going to give us kind of the effect that we're looking for. Now, one issue is the front of this is open. And in order to really see this kind of effect, if you ever notice that where you see it is like the church is very dark and the lights are very bright. It's like that contrast of the camera where everything is dark except the lights. And so we're not getting that effect, and the only way to really kind of do that is to create a plane. Let's go 10, 10, 5. Let's go 5. Accept. And we take the plane, parameters, go X, I think X. Which way is, I can't read that. We're on the left? Okay, so we go Z, I think. No, that's to move. Z rotate. Yes. We bring this like that. We scale it. Okay, Z rotate, we're going to go 90 degrees. All right, then we're going to bring it up. This. X scale. Okay, Z scale. That. X scale is like that. Now we bring it here behind us. A little bit more behind the camera. Okay, let's go to the perspective view. Let's take a look at this. Now, where's our camera? There's our camera. So we have to bring our camera. We have to unlock the camera. Object. You have to get control of your light. Okay, so object and lock, unlock. You bring our camera in here like this. Okay, so it's inside. Then bring our plane and shut the door. Like that. Now go back to our camera. All right, we've got something here. And then what we got to do is we have this. I've made the environment really bright, and it's bouncing off of everything. The sky is putting lights everywhere, and it's bouncing in around everywhere. The only way to kind of fix that is to just turn off the environment. So we go to parameters. So all we have left are our spotlights, those focused lights. Okay, so we go dome and scene, we go scene only. And I didn't change it like I kind of thought it would. We don't have light coming in through the roof, do we? Through the ceiling. So we go back to the scene. Oh, okay, now the absorption makes, you see the scattering multiplier, make it scatter less. Okay, so you want it to scatter less, and that I think makes it scatter more. Yeah, see, that just took the scattering off, almost like brought the scattering out. Because if you have it scattering a lot, then it's going to scatter everywhere else. So, well, I'm gonna, now we got a B Windows. Not sure what that is. B Windows. Relative to size, enable emission. Okay, that's absorbing. I think what's wrong here, okay, I'm going to tell you a secret here, okay, is that the textures in this room on these walls, they are 3D, okay, and 3D does not respond to light the right way. It's like light, Iray light is a totally different language. It doesn't know how to like diffuse. Like when you walk into a room sometimes, everything goes, like when it's really bright and sunny outside and you walk into a room, everything goes dark and then your eyes adjust and then you can see. 3D doesn't do any of that, okay? It doesn't have that ability. It's just like shining off a picture. That's what it doesn't, it's not diffusing, it's not creating the right ambience, it's not doing any of that kind of stuff, okay? That Iray, 3D will do that if you render it, if you put it in its own environment, because then it speaks that language. But when you have it, a 3D image like this, room like this, now I would say I'll take it into sickle yields. That's what I've done before. I've taken this very room and brought it into sickle yields 3D to Iray converter and converted everything all in one big shebang, okay? And it doesn't work with that script doesn't work with Daz Studio 2025, so I can't do that. And I have Daz set up on my other computer. Now I might be able to save this, convert it, then bring it back in and see what happens. So that'd be kind of interesting. Let's just go save Daz scene, and we'll call this the room. The room. The room. Okay, over here, except now it's saving it. Then we can open Daz 4.24. All right, and let's see if we can convert the room. Just see what happens, okay? Yeah, and that's the thing. Matt, you're pretty smart. You know stuff. I appreciate when you come in and you add amazing stuff like that to enhance our understanding. Matt says that Iray is physics-based, 3D is not. Okay, and so that's exactly it. So open, now we're going to open the room. Okay, and I'm going to show you one of my favorite. So here we go. This won't let me render it. So what I have to do is convert everything and then bring it back and then see what it looks like. See just what happens. All right, so we go to our smart content. We go to default here. We go to utilities. We just type in 3DEL and we will find, if we don't have the filter by context on, sickle yields 3D light converter. Now this converter is amazing, okay? It works really well. It works very quickly. Okay, here it is. Here it is. Yes, well, thank you. Thank you, that I appreciate that I'm helpful in this way. Okay, so it appeared over here. Okay, we're going to go full screen for a minute. If I start working on another screen, okay, so what we do is we scan the scene first and it found everything, okay? That we don't have people in here, so we know that everything it found, the only thing we have in this scene pretty much is our plane and a few other things, so all the stuff it found. So now we click Find Matches. So I click Scan, then I find matches, apply presets. Now it's going through and it's changing. We click Accept and everything went black. All right. So which means, what it means is the windows and everything in the scene got shut. Okay. The plane is doing its thing. Okay. So now we go File, Save, Save, The Room. Okay, we'll call this The Room 2. Very original naming scheme here. Well, we'll call this The Room iRay. Now, this program, this EZ3 Light to iRay, isn't perfect. It doesn't do glass well. It doesn't do a few things. But that's where we're going to do a few things, a few tricks. It does do wood. It does do things that have actual images on them. Okay, so now we go back here, and we go File, Open, and we're going to go the Room iRay. Okay, what have we got? This is, believe it or not, the same room. Okay, but I don't see, it doesn't, it looks, oh, it looks so different now. All right, so let's first turn off our, I don't know if it might have done something weird to our VDB. Okay, so we go up here to the scene and let's first turn off our atmosphere and see what we've got. Now look at this. See, now things look kind of darker. Look at the difference in this. It's just, it has, see, it's speaking the right language. So this worked so well. I love this converter. Now you can come in and you can do some other things to it, but now when you look at this and you go to surfaces, okay, it says base color. See, everything's been switched over. This is amazing. So I didn't even have to turn off the lights. So and now it's not diffusing so oddly on things. If we come in a little bit closer here. Now, inside this wall here that I have, now I turned everything off in the scene, so the only thing on is the lights. So if we go to this plane, what I'm going to do is make the plane black instead of white. And so we're going to go to Easy Organizer here. And I'm going to go to my organizer. I'm going to go to, okay, we'll go back to here, and we'll go to open this up, and go to tab, which one is, okay, shaders, select panel, let's go to fabric and plastic, we'll go here, I'm going to type black, see if we can just find a black plastic, no that didn't work, go back, okay, back doesn't work, okay, little things. All right, so we'll go into the metal. Sometimes it's good to have like your entire, okay, for fabric, plastic. Oh, what did I didn't like load anything, I don't think. Okay, so we went to plastic, okay, paint. There's our black right there. Add gloss paint matte. Okay, so we got to make sure our shader surface, that wasn't too hard. Look, that's how you find all of your shaders, okay? So metal matte, okay, this is painted, okay, so we go here. Now our plane is black, so it's not reflecting off of the light, okay, so we go back to our camera. Oops, we just bring the camera in through the plane now. All right, so it's not a source of light. Okay, and so we put now I'm seeing a little bit of that ray stuff happening, and if you can set your rays, your VDB right, okay. Now this is weird because I'm seeing atmosphere here, even though, let's turn that off, even though there is none. Okay, let's turn that off. Okay, this atmosphere cube, this is strange. Okay, that I'm still seeing atmosphere here. Now, if we turn off a couple of these lights, okay, those are the two lights that we, so, okay, the plane is on, okay, and we turn off this light. No, those are those two lights, this light, okay. Now we have those. And then we take and we mess with this, we go back, okay, I deleted my, okay, I'm going to delete these two lights. Camera, we're looking through our camera. Our plane is here. Now I wonder, I wonder if, remember I turned those, the windows off? Let's see, so we go back, window, we go, I don't think Sickle Yield would have changed the parameter of the window. So it would probably still be scale, okay, it would still be set to scale. Oh, this is parameters. We need to be on surfaces. Window glass. This would be cutout opacity. Okay. So that is, okay, so we would go now into something like refraction, IOR, the refraction index. Where's the IOR? Can we find it? Nope. Okay, let's see. Refraction weight. Okay. Thin-walled. This is our glass. Now there were other glass things. Oh, this room has lights in it. That's what's lighting the room. Okay, so we have to go in here. Remember I told you, in order to see this effect, it has to be in a dark room, okay? It's like, it's so counterintuitive because you're saying, I want to use light to in darkness, and it's so hard to achieve. And that's what it is that there are lights in this scene. You see these lights? They're lighting the room. And we need to get those out so that the room darkens, okay? I don't know how much they're lighting the room, but look at these wall lights, okay? We even have a fireplace. They're not lighting it that much. What about the fireplace? And okay, but they were lighting it some. And now there's also, now and I don't really know a lot about this, okay, but you go and look through your spotlight. We have two spotlights here. That one's a little bit off, okay? But this spotlight, okay, what you can do with it is you can go to its parameters and you can change it like this to make it more focused. And we want to have this light come down in like it's coming from. But you can do things like make it very, very focused, like move it out from a distance, but make it like very focused, and that can really change the effect of this. Okay, so now we go to our other spotlight. That one's kind of off, and we want it to just kind of, all right, let's think about this, okay, because the smaller a light is, the harder the shadows, okay? And the bigger the light is, like if you have a gigantic sun, it's going to make soft shadows. If you have a little pinhole sun, it's going to create very distinct hard shadows, okay? So this is the idea behind this, is to make this light kind of small, but move away, but then make the spread angle. We're still on the wrong light. This light. So if we move away, but we make, where was that? This, the spread angle. Okay, and you can experiment. You can make one like real close and wide, and one really, far away and very, very focused, okay? All right, so now we go back to our camera view, and you can check. Now see what we have here? See how we have changed our look? So now when we add some kind of, let's go back to our, and you see this room here, we could use the brightness manager on it. The brightness, which is another script, and darken the whole, just select it and darken the whole thing. We could do it manually here by grabbing a hold of the scene here, and we go to the wall, door. We don't want the door, the black wall, ceiling, ground, wall. We select all of that, and then we go into surfaces. Will it let us do it all? Okay, like this, and then we go to base color, darken it. There we go. Okay. I think the only thing we didn't get was the floor, but the floor is being shined on. Now we go back out to our perspective view and look at our cameras and see why. See there, one of them is, that's the one that's far away. So let's move them a little bit like together, like this one and this one in. Let's look at these now from the side. Now let's look through the cameras, spotlights. That one's still good. That one's just the wrong angle, a little angled off. Now let's go back to our camera and see what that looks like. All right. Let's go back here. Now let's put some kind of atmosphere in here. So we go back here to our other computer here, and we go to environment. We go to Sky Tools. This is where my VDBs are. Load them in and find a VDB. So we have them all in one place. Let's use one of these clouds. I'd like to find something more uniform. Those clouds are huge VDBs. Let's just try it. Where are you? Okay, we're going to lock our camera again. Make sure the camera is locked. Select, edit, object, lock. Okay, always scroll your mouse wheel to see if it's locked. Now we go to the perspective view, then we can select this and find out where the heck that is. Okay, it's here. It's not a very big, right, I'm not going to use that. That's too small. Let's, in this group, I'm going to search for poof. Why didn't it find? I don't think my search is working right. Search, check search. See, now all of my items are going by their, instead of their name, they're going by their number. That doesn't mean you can't search their name. It just means, so the search is looking for the names that things were known by instead of the numbers. And so it's just, it's like the difference between iRay and, okay, so, and 3delight. Let's see. So we go through here, we'll find it. I know what it looks like. I wonder if this works. Oh, cancel. That is looking for the VDB container. Okay. We're not going to use that right now. I think that might be, oh, I'm seeing something there. Okay, so we move this up. I think this is a very tiny, it's a little teeny box here, so I don't think that's working. The container is, yeah. Display ball. I'm not sure what that is, but okay. We'll find something I know what it is. Something I'm more used to using. Vortex. And where are you? Oh, look, these are shower. Look at this. This might work. Okay. Now let's take a look at this and see where that goes. Let's take a look at our camera and see if we can see anything here. All right. Move it up. All right, this has got to be made larger. We can work with this. Okay. Okay, so we scale it. Parameters, let's put it in the middle of the room like this. And go to parameters here. Scale it. Scale. Make it huge. There we go. Is this going to work? See, I'm seeing something here. All right, so what we do, there's our effect beginning. Okay, so what we have to do now is hone this in. Which would be like this. We have to find out which one's the surface. This is it. Okay, so we scattering, okay. So the scattering multiplier, we bring this down like this. And the absorption multiplier, bring that up. Maybe it's not in far enough. Oh, we caught it. There it is. There's our effect. Okay, remember one of them I brought out and focused, okay, and the other one I didn't, okay? So we go to our perspective view here, we go back out to our camera, to our lights. Spotlight here, it's the spotlight over on the side here. Okay, one of them got focused, the other did not, so what we do is we take this light and delete it. We take this light, edit, duplicate, node, we bring it over, no, Z, this one, like that. Go back to our camera. Now it looks like we've got something going on here. So we take our light now, we make it, we go here, our surface. We have to play with these a little bit. So we have too much scattering because it's all up scattered up in here. So we lower the scattering. And we change the color a little bit. And then we can add some more absorption. That's a little bit too green. All right. So this is going to take some, now this is our viewport. Let's see now how, let's go full screen here with this. Okay, so you guys can see what I'm doing. A little more. Let's go into our render and see, because this is our view, our computer kind of rendering this. Let's go and see what happens when we let the graphics card render this. Now you see this upper part doesn't look like, maybe it is working, I don't know. But I'm going to tell you that's the secret, is to pull the light back, make it like a little pin, okay? And then and then focus it through the window, okay, to get this effect. You can't just put an HDRI because it's so big, all that light's just flying all over everywhere. You have to focus that light from a spotlight to get that effect. And so now we take and see what our render settings. We go to 2000, let's go to 2000. All right, and let's go to up to this, and we'll go to maximum samples, maximum time. Come on, turn that off. And then we go to render. See what it looks like. Okay. So how are our iterations going here? Let's bring this over and see how quickly they're coming. Okay, we go here, here, here. So we can see both of these. We're at 700 iterations already. So because of the darkness and all of this factor here, this could end up needing to go thousands, like 15 or 20,000 iterations. We're up to 730. The next one will be a big, huge jump. Okay, it's jumping like 400 iterations at a time. So the next one may be like really big, like 1,200 or something. So, but it's, yeah, 1,400. Okay. So, I have a feeling this is going to look nice when it's done. Maybe the effect is too much. Maybe, you know, see, but you play around with it. And once you get this effect down perfect, then you have a model that you can say, oh, I need that effect, okay? And then you have the spotlights, you have the settings for the spotlight, you have the right VDB, you have it set to the right kind of absorption, okay? See, so what we did was we took the scatter off, so it didn't scatter up into here, okay? So we turned the scatter way down, but we turned the absorption up, so that where it hits, where the light is hitting it, that's where it's going to absorb. And so I'm not perfect at this, and it looks like something's weird. Maybe, I don't think our VDB is all the way over here. So I'm going to cancel this. Look at that. It's just starting to come through. See, there's, you know, when you're online and you're broadcasting, I'll tell you right now, it's not always good for your art, because you're trying to appease people, and you're trying to and not take too much time, and you're not just sitting there doing, you know, willy-nilly, okay? Okay, so here is where, okay, so you can see the width of it. See, this is the problem we have here, is this width, okay? So I have to make it wider. So we go here to parameters. Let's see what I did, because a lot of times I'll drag something with scale. All right, X scale, what does that do? Okay, that is giving us our scale, but it's all the way over there. So now we've pulled it into the area where we kind of want it, but is it like in front? Is it, okay, where is it? Now we have to look at it from this angle. Well, that brought me way in. Okay, now let's see what's going on here. Okay, it looks like we've got almost enough coverage, but I think our coverage has got to be here. All right, see this? Now we go back to our camera and see what this looks like. All right, now we have our effect. Save this as willy-nilly. Let's see, the room iRay 1, we'll call it iRay 1. Yeah, and now I think some of this absorption could come off, and we could maybe take and bring even more of the diffuse down. See, okay, except, so we go back here, we go back to our container, and we go back to our surfaces. We bring the absorption, is it like less? that's less absorption in the multiplier. We bring this like that. Then we have to bring the absorption up more. Because here we go. Oh, that's nice. That's nice. Matt says, seeing the raw full process is what makes your channel unique and very helpful. That's very, very nice. It's, you know what? It's having that knowledge in my head that awesome people are watching, people that I admire, people that love art, people that, you know, it's like Angus. Angus doesn't work with Daz Studio, but he has an appreciation for art. It's like not everybody makes music. Some people just listen to it, you know, and that's what's really, really nice. This looks like it's going to render beautifully. Now, it looks too yellow to me. I think it should just come down a little bit and be a little more in the white range. Now this absorption multiplier, this color that you can change in the absorption multiplier, I don't understand it. It's like you change it and it's the exact opposite of what you picked. So I don't understand the color part. I have to do some research on it. You can do it, okay? Some research, find out. I'm just going to make this have a little bit less, what's the word for it? Vibrance or, yeah, the saturation, okay? So it's just not quite as saturated with color. And now this does something here. What would be really nice is to have like a statue of the Virgin Mary or something here. That would be really nice. And I do have a Virgin Mary somewhere in my desk. Do you guys know that you probably have the Virgin Mary in your library and you didn't even know it? So that's what being able to search everything. Yeah, this absorption multiplier, when you come in here, you can pick the color, but it doesn't like if you pick green, it doesn't turn the absorption green. It has something to do with science and color science that I don't understand, okay? So but the other one, this scattering multiplier, when you pick the color, it pretty much uses the color you pick, okay? So that's based on color. The scattering multiplier is if you want to color your VDB in a specific color, you want to use that. But this absorption multiplier, maybe what the absorption multiplier does is when you pick a color, that's the color it absorbs out of the light, okay? I don't know, okay? But it's something very interesting to look into, okay? So we're going to go back to the render settings and see, is this 16:9? It is. All right, everything's set. Let's do another render. I think we got it here. I think we nailed it this time. So let's see what we have. This really does need a statue and then with one little light coming down onto it. So yeah, just to kind of light the statue. So while we're waiting for that to render, let's come over here and let me go in and see if I can find the Virgin Mary. See if maybe this search is working for them. Okay, so we go delete here. Virgin Mary. Okay, search 0 of 3,500 items. So that's not, it didn't work. So my search doesn't work. Okay, Mary, let's just try Mary. Yeah, it's only searching. Let me see if I inject them into the scene. Okay, that injected. Now let's try Virgin Mary. Okay. Oh, this one's working. No items found. It may not have searched. Okay. Mary. Let's try doing this again. Yeah, the search isn't working. That's, oh, we do have some Marys. Okay, Marian. Okay. Of 86 pages, we're going to find the Virgin Mary. We just got to go through 86 pages. Okay. So this search worked. Okay, now we go through this like list of 80 billion different shades of one shader. So just in case you don't like tweaking your own color. And when you click on them, they don't look like what the model looks like. But they're a color. You didn't have to go and change the color yourself. So, all right. I don't think I can jump ahead because look how quickly these are loading. I am very pleased with the way this is working. Okay, actually, now we have our this weird anomaly. Okay, let's go to page 60. Yeah, we have this page thing again where it runs out of handles, which is kind of good. Now I have another issue to fix. Runs out of handles. Now this is during the searching while searching. Search while paginating. Search results. Okay, now if I now if I open and close this and then do it again, it will work, but so I mean it's not something that you can't get around, but okay, and that's what we'll do. We'll close this while we wait for this to render. Look at this. Let's see what our okay, this is over here. We're at 3,000. This is just, this has got a, oh gosh, I've got another window open here. Which one is the right one? Okay, that's the old one. All right, here's the new one. And now we open this up. Now we go here, search Mary. And let's bring this over here so I don't have to go through 50 million pages. And we go like this, like that, like this. Now there's only 30 pages. And now we're going to go, look at the, I don't see her here. Let's go to page 20. Pagination is still kind of working. 25. 26. These are going to go, okay, all the way up. So the last page was some, oh, Pieta. That might be Pieta. No, that, what is that? What's that called? Pieta? P-I-E, Pieta, P-I-E-T-A, Pieta, P-I-E-T-A. All right, let's try that one. Go do it here. No. Let's try the whole collection. Maybe it's in one of my other. Statue. All right, we have some statues. All right, we've got a nice little gargoyle. Oh, what's this? Four pages of statues. Oh, here's our statue. Okay, we go and inject. Oh, it won't let me do that while we're rendering. Look at this. Okay, so cancel that, yes. And let's see what happens when we, okay, let's close this. Let's see if our scene took the statue. It did, but where is it? Oh, it's here. Okay, so let's take and scale that a little bit. Parameters. Scene. Okay, we go to scene. Okay, parameters. Here. Scale. And then we take and we spin her around. Y. Rotate. And then we bring her, that would be 180. That might be a him. Okay, so it might not be our Mary figure, but it kind of works. Then we take and move him back here. We move him in. And then maybe in a little bit more. Like this. We make him a little bit taller, scale him some more. A little more intimidating. Then we bring in a spotlight. Accept. Okay, now we go to our Spotlight 3. We select our guy, camp statue, click this little square thing, and that surrounds us right to him. Oh, I scaled him the wrong way. All right, let's see. Statue. I do that all the time. X scale. All right, we've got a alternate thing, that brings it back. Okay. Then we bring this scale up like this. All right, now we have our spotlight on him, but I'm going to turn the spotlight like this. Click the spotlight. Okay. Yeah, that's Jesus. Now we go here to our camera. Now, I don't know what kind of file that is, whether if that was an OBJ. Let's go back to our camera. Now let's give our spotlight a little bit of, let's go back here. That was a duff, okay? So it should have textures. All right, so let's see what we have now. What if we bring our statue back a little bit more? I don't like this there. And now we have to adjust our light again. Spotlight. Okay, back to our camera. Now we go back to our parameters. Give our nine, that didn't work. Okay, that's a little too much. All right. Statue's not quite exactly what I was hoping for, but okay. But it works. Is he like floating in the air? Let's get, yes, we got to find out if Jesus is floating. All right, here we go. And let's get down to Control 9, Control L. Let's see what this thing looks like. Well, it kind of looks like he's sitting on the ground. Yeah, that's pretty close. All right, we had to check. Now, is he, let's see if he's 3D light. Okay, parameters, let's see. We would go to surfaces, statue, base color. No, he's actually eye-ray. So we go back to our camera. And what's this? I think that is my, that's the VDB. Okay, so we go back to here. And I'm going to warm the light up a little bit that's shining on him. So go back to the scene, select the spotlight, go back to our parameters, and let's just warm it up a little bit, temperature. Just a little bit. And we save this. And then we render. And while we render, we'll look and see if we can find any other deities. Page 2. Okay. We've got Horus. The cat statue, that's Bast. Oh, here's the Vestal Virgin. I should have just typed in Virgin. Maybe she'll look better in there. I think she'll be, let's put her in. Let's see. Let's go in here. Let's see what this looks like. Let's just hide Jesus. We'll keep him there. And see one with her. Okay, let's bring her in. And she's got the same kind of thing going on. All right. Now we go here to, let's just hide him. And let's go to parameters. Again, this time we're not going to scale the wrong thing. I did. I scaled the wrong thing again. How can I keep doing that? I just don't know why I keep doing that. Y rotate would be 180. Okay, let's bring her over. Let's bring her in. Back. Now I got to go back and see if she's back on the ground or floating in the air. You can't just assume these things. You have to make sure. It looks like she's, let's see what she's doing here. So, okay. Camera, back to here. Let's go back to EzFinder again. See if we've got any other statue. Oh, this is what we want, the Gothic one. Duff. Which one's which? Let's see what our... Now you see I have her selected. When I open this up, I don't want her to go away. All right? See, and this is what's important. Now she'll be on this page somewhere. There she is, okay? This is what we want. All right, so what's the difference? This is Genesis 1, Genesis 8. Okay, I don't know what the difference is, but let's see if she'll go into the scene. Reading asset. Oh, she floats. She's got all kinds of cool stuff going on. All right, that's what we want. All right, we don't... Oh, Z. All right, we bring her down. Okay, you got to come down to earth, okay, if you want to be in the scene. You got to hover back down. All right, we need to turn her 180 degrees, rotate 180. Okay, that would be in parameters. That's where we are. Rotate. Okay, it's not going to be that easy, so we just got to kind of figure this out. Okay. Now we go back. Now it's not going to make it easy for us. Okay, go back like this. Get her in the light. Look at this. Now we've got something here. Does she have a face? Let's go to the perspective view and see what we've got for here. Oh, that's pretty good. That works. Now we got to turn her a little bit more. Y rotate. And they're not going to make it easy on us to do this. She is still floating. Okay, there's that. Now we're going to scale her up a little more. Let's see if we can find the right scale. Rotate, where's scale? Okay, they have scale hidden. Okay. Oh, there it is. Let's go back to the camera. Go back here and... All right, we got to move her back and in. Okay, we lost her because we got something in front of her. Scene. Okay, we gotta turn that, click that little checkbox, and now we can select her. That's how you, when you have something in front of you, that little teeny checkbox, that stops you from clicking on that because it makes it no longer clickable. All right, so now we're going to go back. Okay, I think we got to pull her out a little bit like this. And we got to make her a little bit shorter. She can't get through the door. All right, so we scale this down, scale her down, but I don't think, okay, we got to get her, okay, scale. I don't think I have her selected. You know, I have the gown, grown. All right, so we go back to parameters. We scale her down a little bit more. Oh, that's rotate, Z, scale. I don't know why I can't seem to get these right. Still too much. Okay, gotta push her back a little more. Now where's my light? Spotlight 3. Where's Control L? Select the light. Did I like pull her out of her clothes? I think I did. Yeah. There we go. Now, where's my spotlight again? Make sure she's still fully clothed. All right. And we can do this number. And like that. Pull this down. Camera. Okay. Now the light is too much. And it's too warm. Okay, too much light. So we go here. We take the lumens down to 9.1, 9.2, 2. Okay, and then we bring the temp, make it a little more blue. Save this. And then, now I think I need to pull my spotlight out, even though it doesn't look like it's gonna, you have to pull it out a little more. Okay, cameras, to catch her hand, a little bit more of her hand. We could go a little bit more, like up to 5. Now I've got to go and make sure she's not floating off the ground. She is. All right, scene, statue. Control 9. Okay, let's see, Control L. Let's get her back on the ground again. And we can just, parameters, we can scale her up a little bit more. Okay, now go back to the camera. And now we've got her too far ahead. Okay, now we got to set our light again. Select the light. Spotlight 3, Control L. Okay, now we just went through the roof. Okay. Camera. I think I'm going to go with this. We go back. I'm just going to make the spotlight a little colder. Make sure it's the spotlight I've got, yeah. And save this. Let's render. Let's see what we got here. Another little trick, you put a plane, you can put a plane on in the light, in the window, along the window plane, and put colored transparent shaders, and you could have the colors, have it color coming in, okay? So just something to think about, okay, with your, when you're using this effect. So now this has just got to render for a while, okay, until it's done. So, and the sad reality is when you have a dark scene like this, these scenes take thousands and thousands of iterations, like 16, 20,000. Now, if this was all bright and everything, 2,000, okay? But when it's like this, when you're trying to utilize this dark and this light kind of thing, that is when you really require, I think she's on the ground. I dragged her back. I've got to check one more thing, just to make sure she's on the ground. She likes to float. She's a floaty kind of girl. Let's see, perspective, like this. L, are you on the ground? Don't make me nail you down there. Okay, I think you're good. Just, yeah, she's there. Okay, just didn't want that to be, because when you get it all done and you're ready to like show the world and you look, is she floating? Because like when she was there, she looked fine. She looked fine, but she was like 3 feet off the ground. All right, and that will show in your final render. It's like, is she floating? Yeah, that's some marble statues do float. Okay, so we go back to the camera. Okay, save this again. I think I already did. Now we could add some of these really kind of weird things to our render, like render settings. We go back to iRay. We have things like this optimization. We could go into like gilded sampling. We could go into the caustic sampler. Look what that does to this. I kind of like that. But will it reticulate right, or is it going to look kind of like too... Yeah, I think this could look good, nice. So I think I'm going to leave that. See what I'm saying? And then you have this other one here, which is the spectral rendering. That switches it to RGB, makes the light look a little bit more realistic. You have these different types. I like the faithful one, 1964. Now that made this look a little too blue. I will go to the 1931. This switches it to RGB. I like the way that brings her out a little bit more. Now what I'm thinking now is since this looks so clear and it all, what I'd like to do is go back to my VDB and give it a little bit more scatter so it doesn't look, so it looks like there's a little more atmosphere in the room, just a tiny bit. I hope I don't ruin it, but let's see. We're going to go back to our container, go back to surfaces, scattering multiplier. Let's give it just a little bit more atmosphere in the room. So it doesn't look like a complete dichotomy. The absorption multiplier will bring that down. I think I brought that up. Yeah, they're both the opposite of what you think they are. When you bring one up, okay, this one, let's drag it all the way up. Okay, so it's not off, so I'm doing it the wrong way. It's got to be this way, turns it off. Okay, so we're going to go a little bit more, I think. Okay, when we go black, it should be gone. Yeah, this is what we want. You know what? It looks like this is not on the ground. Like I did the side and all of that, but I didn't do the ground. Let's see. What happens when we grab this whole thing and Y it down? Parameters. Grab that. Y translate. That's not working. Why? I don't know why I can't see. Now that's doing its thing. It was up in the air. Okay, another issue. Okay, that we fixed. So now if I tilted my lights, well, this would have brought this in further. So, but I think I like this now. Oh, I just did it again. I pulled her out of her clothes. Here we go. Statue. I don't know that I think I kind of ruined my light here. All right, so we go back here and we mess with this again. Parameters, back to here. Okay, let's go black. Okay, see, it's still, oh, this is a scattering offset. Okay, let's just cancel that. Let's go absorption multiplier. So this is how you turn that one off. You go white. It's not working. So let's take the density down. 2. Right. Here we go. I think that's it. Let's save it. And we I'm still not happy with this. It only lets you go, oh, okay, it does let you go down more. That's what we want, just something very subtle. I think I'm going to turn the red, green, blue off. Go back into the rendering here. Well, that's working. Okay, so we'll go up instead of 1, we'll go 3. Okay. 3. Now I'll tell you another little hint. I don't understand why it's a color and not just a number value. I'm not really sure what you meant by that question, Matt. Let me also tell you that when you're rendering these VDBs, okay, they're always the final render, the last when it's done, they always look less than what they look here. Like this to me looks like it's kind of too strong and too noisy, but the oh, okay. I'm glad we covered that. Awesome, awesome. Yeah, I remember talking about it, responding, but now that I think of it, I just didn't know if I actually answered your query. Okay, whether if I actually had addressed it. So that's good. Now, so this thing about these VDBs, like you might say, oh, this looks so strong, but when this is done rendering, it's not going to look as strong as this, okay? So I think I'm going to go up a few more to make it look a little bit like 7, like too much, all right? So that when it renders, we'll go to 9. So I do want the effect to be kind of strong, okay? So, and I don't want it to just kind of reticulate out of the scene. Okay, so I think that kind of works. It's almost like you want them, okay, so we're going to go to 2 here. Well, you want the contact between these two. You want this to have contact, not just the light, but the physical contact. So, yeah, here we go. So I think this will kind of disappear to some degree. I'm sure it will. When this renders, it just does, for some reason, once it starts to really reticulate, it starts to kind of vanish on you. And so, so always overcompensate with your VDB, because your render is going to look, it's going to look less. Okay, so, all right. Now, I mean, is there anything else I could put in here? I just don't know. Candles, maybe some candles. I don't know, but some candles around her would be kind of nice too. But I think we already have the light thing that we need. Now this light looks a little bit, I think it's fine. It looks a little too white, but it's okay, because it's just okay. So this is it. All right, so we're going to save this again, and then we're going to sing for a little while. All right, okay, so we're going to sing while we wait for this to render. Okay, now make sure we don't have any, there we go. Now we go back here. We go this, and we're just going to let it finish this time. No, she's not floating in the air. Okay, so we're going to let it finish. Maybe, okay, 2,000 is good. All right. So we go and let it finish. Look at that reticulation there. So it is, you know, because right now all these big dots, they get smaller and smaller and smaller and smaller and smaller, and then they start to look transparent. You start to see through them, and you start to see, and that's when your VDB starts disappearing on you, okay? And the whole idea is to have it there, to have the presence of it. So many times I've rendered a scene and lost my VDB. It just rendered itself right out of the scene. So keep that in mind. So I think we have it here. This is pretty nice. I think it's good. So so now what I need to do is just let it render and render and render for an hour. Yeah, it is. Oh, you're right about that, Matt. It is. It's just, he says volumetric stuff is hard to accurately preview because it's the stuff that takes the longest to render. And because of that, you can't preview it. You just have to kind of guess and render it and see if it works. Yep, because it does. You know, if I don't know, I don't know if you ever worked with Bryce years ago, but they used to have that little. You could drag it. It was like a little turtle and a rabbit, and if you went to the turtle, it would take like 3 days to render, and if you went to the rabbit, it would take like only 3 hours. But either way, and it was just for this like little teeny tiny volume. So it's like you get it done, you had this little round like volume, this tiny little 320 by 480. It's like, wow, look what I made. So, but yeah, it didn't. So that was, it was just, volumes are the most render intensive things that you can do. I'm glad this came out, because when I first started this image, it didn't seem like it was gonna work. And it's like, okay, you put the lights here and you have them shine in, and you set the lights like this, and it's supposed to work. So I have spent like 6 and 7 hours trying to get this effect before. And so, and it just all of a sudden by accident, I learned about the spotlight, that you had to use spotlights to do it. And so you just forget about an HDRI. You might as well do what I did. Just turn it right off, because it's not going to work. The HDRI is like I said, that tiny pinpoint of light is the way to do it. I got Bryce for $5 on Daz. I don't use Bryce anymore, because everything that the only time I ever use Bryce is sometimes when I want a bitmap piece of landscape. Bryce is great. Their landscape generator for like going in, and you can just paint and use a black and white image and create your own land. And then you can just export it out like gigantic. It's like so big that it takes, like up all of your RAM, and then you can make it so ultra detailed, and it crashes a few times. You make sure you save it like while you're working on it, like quite a few times. But you can make your own bitmap and load that bitmap into Ultra Scenery and create your own. Look at that last reticulation that it did. It just gave us a huge one here. That was 2,000. This is our 2,000 mark. This is not enough for me. But as you can see, there's a little bit of atmosphere in this room also now. You can see the little specks. Those will go away, but it will give this room a little bit of atmosphere. So, yeah, a little smokiness to the room. And so it's taking a while, but it's now doing 1,000 iterations per chunk. So yeah, so the next one will be like, wow. Okay, so it'll be another 1,500 iterations. So I think I'll stay long enough for that. We're gonna sing and play a little bit of polka. So it's polka, polka, polka time. So I'm almost done. We'll stay long enough for the next iteration. Da 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 da. So yeah, all is well. Polka polka time. So yes, we've got it here. So as you can see, I've got maybe I'm not going to be adding any more new features to EzFinder. So all that it really needs right now is just to have these last few bugs, and that's all through testing, a little bit of testing here and there. You just test it. I scan, I run, I try to do things. It really works to go online here and do, because I found a bunch of them tonight. And so if I fix all of these, it could be like all of them, you know? So that's the thing. We had one where we were loading, saving and loading. We had one where, a horrible one, where all of a sudden the entire tab tree completely collapsed. Yeah, so, and that's all because there's something in there saying, no, I want to find their name. I don't want a number. And it's like, no. There were at least, just in one part of the program, there were 150 different lines of code that had to be studied and changed. Yeah, and that was just in one of the program files, and there's like 4 of them, 4 or 5 of them actually, but only about 4 of them that have these particular lines of code that have to be fixed. So we still haven't seen the next iteration because it's going to pop in at any point, and it's going to be 3,000 something, and we'll get to see kind of what this is going to look like as it materializes. So I'll stay for one more iteration, and I got to go get some food. Yes, it is. Yeah, the landscape bitmap generation, and it's totally free now. Bryce is free now? Wow. Yeah, you know, I really wish they would make Bryce open source, but I don't think they will. They just don't want, they don't want the competition of Bryce. And really, other than the bitmap generation, which Bryce is like really good at doing, and that's something that you know, and that, you know, that's the thing is that, oh, Vue is also good for landscape bitmap generation. Nice. Well, you know, it wouldn't be that hard. Here we go. Okay, that just gave us another am I looking? I think we're looking at the viewport here. Okay, there we go. Yeah, look at that. So we're getting these little slender sliver lines of detail. So we kind of lost, remember when the whole room was in that really weird kind of, we lost some of that, but I think this is a little bit more, it's less chaotic. So, but the, yeah, I might just make a landscape generator for Daz, and that just a plugin for it, so that you can make landscapes, and it's not going to be buggy like Bryce and buggy like Vue, but actually just kind of make your landscape, save it as just do one thing, make your landscape and save it as a bitmap image, and be able to, and it'd be styled kind of after the Bryce tools and all. So, but yeah, the thing is I have made what I have made a kind of a thing with myself. I am not going to create a rendering engine. So I just know that's not where I want to go with this. Why recreate something? I don't want to recreate something that already is. I want to create things that don't exist. And EzFinder does not even come close to existing. So in the world, okay, this program, the ability to just go through and scan your library and go through here, this just, and right now, this is page 5 of this, this whole thing, these are loaded because they are from a different place. These are my sky, these are, these are my BDBs. So yeah, this program is pretty close to ready for public consumption. I've got I had to go in. I just had to, you know, add these tabs. I just had to. I was just all of a sudden I thought, well, you know, it just gives people. Some people are going to be much more. They're going to want to break things apart and break their products into much smaller little chunks. And so I had to take and give more, okay? And the thing is like I say, you can save, you just save this tabs, and it says this saves all 8 tabs, your complete workspace. What gets saved, all 8 tabs, all 64 panels, 8 panels per tab, all virtual folders and their file references. Okay, so it saves everything. It does not save your actual Daz content files, okay? Those remain in your Daz library. So it's not, you can't save these and give them to a friend and they're going to have your content, okay? So it's not going to have, it just, there's no possible way, because this does not save the images, it does not save the geometry. The Daz library still has to be there and connected to EzFinder. The actual stuff, the purchases, you have to have all of that for this to work, okay? So, but this saves all of these panels and all of these tabs and all of the panels inside. Boom! It's all saved. And then this right here, export all to Daz. This has now been set up where it exports all of these folders, all of these tabs become folders. Okay, so you get your wardrobe folder, your shader folder, your people folder, your environment folder, poses, hair, scripts, whatever you name them, and all of these inside of here are, this would be then a folder inside called lower, inside another folder called upper, top, accessories. Every one of these folders will be a folder, and inside these folders will be all of these things, all curated for you so that you can use them right within Daz. Okay, so what this did was just gave you a larger area to curate within. Now, what you can do is you can save this, you see this save tabs. You could save the entire group of these, and then you can create another one for Blender, or you can create another one for Unreal Engine. All right, and all of your Unreal Engine models could be in here, and you just load it. Here's your load tabs. You load them all back in, and then you have all your curated content. And apparently, Blender has a huge issue with content, with not having libraries and not having any way of curating tons and tons and tons of content. And I don't know about Unreal Engine. It does have that library. It does have some kind of library part that loads up and it shows you all of kind of all your stuff in there. I don't think it's incredibly, I don't think it's like this at all, where you just have all of your stuff in it. You just double click on it and you can go right through it. These are all my fireplaces. I don't think that that Unreal Engine has anything like this, okay? And if I've missed a few, I can drag and drop them in and say, oh, there's another one. I'll add that to my fireplaces. So these are all my fireplaces, everything. Now, I didn't say like potbelly stove. I haven't put in Franklin, you know, look up Franklin. Maybe there's a Franklin fireplace. There's a bunch of them that probably artists are just trying their hardest to name it something that you'll never think of and you'll never be able to find. So once you paid for it, it's like you'll never find it because they called it hearth, you know, or something like that. But that's the thing, is that this is a bunch of them. And if I find more, I'll drag and drop them in, because I'll tell you right now, they're in this DUF file. This brings every DUF file from your Daz library into here. This one brings every CR2 file, okay, into your Daz library. This one brings every Daz file and every OBJ file, like we said, like I showed you. It just brings them all. It doesn't bring the whole file in. It brings parts of the file that are important. And that part, what it brings in, that is proprietary. That's stuff that I had to work on. That's why this took me a year to figure out exactly what I absolutely had to take from the DUF files, what I could leave behind, because I didn't want to take anything I didn't need, okay, to make this work. And that's why they load like this, because they're not loading the whole thing. They're loading a little image and they're loading a pointer to the data. And they're loading a little bit of stuff here, okay, that tells you, okay, just a little bit of links. It tells you where it was located, where it's located, what it's from, okay? This is character Genesis clothing for Genesis, Marauder. That's probably for the Genesis, okay, because it's in character Genesis, okay? So it's not in like Genesis 8 or Genesis 6. So yeah, and these all look like old things. This is for Genesis as well. We're in the okay, these are CR2 DUF. Let's go back here. And this is for Genesis 2 female, okay? So it just tells you right here what it is, what it's for. It's like, you know, it's like then you kind of know. It's like it works for Genesis 2 female. It starts out with that. Now let's see if this will let me go to page 2000. This is working now. Oh no, we're on page 1. It didn't let me go to 2000. Will it let me go to page 99? No, 98? No, so it's the search, the go-to page is just not working right now. That will get fixed. So I'm glad to have these few things that I need to fix. And also there was that issue with loading panels, loading folders. So we're going to fix all those. So let's see what our image looks like. And there it is. It's starting to reticulate. Where are we? We're at 7,000. Yeah, I'm kind of disappointed because I wish it was a little bit more reticulated than that. But it's got to go up to 12,000. And then it probably 12 or 13,000. And that, or maybe even 20,000. And then we'll have what we need here. So oh, her texture looks really nice. This is actually working out very, very nice. So it's amazing, just amazing what we can do here. So, all right. Thank you very much. That is going to do it for me tonight. I am RexRed. Thank you, Matt. Thank you, Angus. Thank you, Art, for coming in here and being part of the show. And we had Tank Top Tony here tonight. I don't know if you're still here, buddy, but welcome, welcome, welcome. And Tank Top Tony was George. I think George from, I can't remember, New Mexico or Nevada. It's one of those states, maybe Arizona. It's been like a year since I talked with Toronto, Canada. We talked about Second Life. All right, well, much love to Toronto, Canada. And I have been to Montreal, and I've been to Montreal. I'd like to think I've been to Quebec, because I used to live only a few hours from Quebec, but about maybe 3 hours, which in Maine, that's not very far. So, all right, take care, people. You have a wonderful rest of your Angus. Much love, friend. Thank you very much for watching, and we will see you again in the next EzFinder 3D TV tutorial. Bye-bye.